All right, welcome back. Tokunbo Ademola joins us now. We're taking a trip across the money-spinning world of sport. Tooks, let me welcome you this morning. It's good to have you join us.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be here.
On a day like this, you know what I mean? On a day like this, Victor Moses, it came as a shock to most of us. I mean, when we saw his Twitter handle, I mean, it's more like a tradition now for Nigerian football, as you mentioned at the beginning, where it started with Vincent Yama, Emenike, and now Victor Moses, you know, posting on social media that they're quitting the national team. What do you make of him quitting national team at 27?
I'm glad you put the 27 part after it, you know, because yeah, shocked. I mean, he's such, you know, when he actually said something saying that, you know, the next generation. I mean, you're only 27. You're not that old. What do you mean younger? You're still, he still should be in the team at this age. And one wonders that is there something, you know, beyond this, something inside of, you know, the management of the football that he's not happy with, that the public just doesn't know. So yes, it's shocking.
You think there's something behind his retirement? It's not just because of the reasons he gave.
To retire fully? I mean, he can at least tell them, okay, I need some time to focus on my squad because he is in a difficult squad. But to actually retire, nah, there's something beyond it.
Okay.
All right, so yeah. I think there's a quote from Victor Moses. A lot of people are still not buying the explanation, though, but it's still coming as a shock to a whole lot of us. But before we talk about the quote, Tooks, let me ask you again. I don't even think I need to ask you how much of a miss this is going to be, because in the last 6-7 years, to me, this is the best player in the Super Eagles.
Oh, of course. I mean, Moses is potentially a future captain, you know. Moses is supposed to lead us to the promised land.
Potential game winner anytime.
He's supposed to lead us to the promised land, Moses, you know.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, so it's a shock. Great shock.
He did once. I mean, he led us 2013 AFCON. Remember, late Stephen Keshi, the legend. I mean, that's the best moment ever. And just look at the speed. I mean, when you see him running, his crosses, you know, his intelligence on the ball and everything, and you're like, who is going to do this?
Yes. I mean,
who can give us this in the current squad?
Currently, he's irreplaceable as far as I'm concerned.
Irreplaceable. Wow, that's harsh. When Okocha called it quit, we're like, are we going to get a replacement for Gigi Okocha? Till today, we haven't seen that. Now Victor Moses is leaving, so 2 vacuum left right now. So I wouldn't envy Mikel Obi right now. You're the captain of the team, and you expect so much. But then take a look at what he had to say on his Twitter handle, what he posted yesterday afternoon, saying that he wouldn't be there. He says, I would like to announce that after much thought, I have made a decision to retire from playing international football. I have experienced some of the best moments of my life wearing the Super Eagles shirt and have memories with me that will last a lifetime. Nothing will ever compete to what it felt like to represent Nigeria on behalf of our country. It went further to say that, however, I feel that now is the right time to step away in order to be able to focus fully on club and career and my young family, as well as to allow the next generation of Super Eagles stars the opportunity to step up and to flourish. Step up and flourish. I'll underline that. We are blessed as a nation to have so many exciting young players coming through, and now is their time. It went further to say that there's so many highlights that stand out for me over the years, from making my debut to playing in 2 World Cups and being a part of the team to win the African Nations Cup for the first time for a nation since 1994, being just a few of them. Okay, the last World Cup was also a memorable one, scoring, you know, from that sport kick and all that against Argentina, and also helping us qualify for the World Cup. But then he mentioned here, I mean, he says it's going to allow, you mentioned the next generation of Super Eagles stars opportunity to step up and flourish. Who are those stars that you think that can easily get into the national team now and also flourish?
Well, before we highlight those stars, you know, one thing about it is, yes, you want those stars to flourish, but at the same time, they need big brother leadership. And this is where somebody...
Like a breach.
Yeah, this is where somebody like Moses is so essential. If he wants them to flourish, he should stay, so to be the big brother to at least guide them in. So that's my primary focus about this.
I know you're going to talk about the next generation, but before we do that, look, we've seen situations where players say, oh, I'm retiring. But in actual fact, what they're doing is stepping aside. Then when the team qualifies for the big tournament, they come back. So my question to you is, can we lure him back? It has happened with a lot of players. Zlatan, I mean, many times Zlatan says, okay, I'm not playing a game. When they qualify for the big tournament, they call him, it comes. Eric Larsson as well. Yes. A lot of those big players. This is a blow. But do you think maybe if we qualify for the Nations Cup or bigger tournaments, we might still be able to lure him back?
That is what exactly you just said is what I'm hoping is the case. that he's just taking some time off. It's not really a retirement at 27. I mean, come on, you know. So I just hope that management, you know, can talk to him, you know, so when his nation does call upon him from duty, he'll be there because he's still needed very much.
Yeah, but he certainly made a call to the coach and the management and all that, and they, you know, kind of understood his position and they respect that and all that. I don't see this guy actually coming back because, I mean, this is his stats for the Super Eagles. I mean, 27, made his debut, 2012 appearances, 37 appearances, goals, 12, title won, that's the AFCON in 2013 he talked about. He was representing Nigeria, 2 World Cups, that's in Brazil and also in Russia. And right now he feels, look, I've done enough. And I'm like, 37 appearances and you've done enough? Okay, he's given his best. I mean, he helped us to win the title and all that. But I really wanted him around because we've seen matches that we've played, how much we usually miss him. I mean, if Victor Moses was with us in the game against South Africa, remember when South Africa just came here and, you know,
beat us.
Like, South Africa, why? But then Victor Moses out of the picture now, it's going to be a difficult one. I still can't comprehend this.
It's a depth equality. Depth. You know, at the World Cup, we forced him to play in a position. He does that for his club. It probably would have served us better if he was playing up front. And you look at the reason it's simple. We don't have quality players. We have a team, but we don't have players on this level. And I'm looking at it, that depth, that void. You think we can think of anybody right now that can fill that void? No. Right now, on the snap of your fingers?
I cannot, you know, with his experience, such as depth, versatility, you know, we don't have that right now, yes. So he is needed, and I hope when it comes to major tournaments that he'll reconsider and that the management can, you know, ask him to come back, yes.
Let's go back to what Cecilia said. Let's look at the promising young lads. Is there anyone who may not be on Victor Moses' level right now, but given a year or two and being allowed to take charge, being allowed probably to take on Victor Moses' responsibilities of the team, the corners, the free kicks, the set piece, that can be like him in a year or two?
As you pose that question, I have to think about it and analyze. I cannot say
anybody right now.
That's the honest truth, you know.
Yeah,
so
anybody.
It's difficult.
Tawawuni and those young guys that are coming up, everyone keep mentioning.
I could struggle and say Alexi Iwobi.
Alexi Iwobi, okay.
With time.
Okay.
It's not on his level now, but with time, maybe we'll get there.
But it won't be the same type of player.
Yeah, that's the question.
I think they're 2 different players.
It will be small, central.
Yes.
You know, I'm just saying in terms of influence, somebody who can, like I said, Moses is a potential match winner.
Yes.
And if you're looking at anybody that can grow to that level, that would be, after struggling, thinking, that would be my pick.
Well, definitely, Iwobi would be the obvious if that's the case there. But, you know, in terms of his style and what he offers, just you're looking at an example of that cross that he puts into Ahmed Musa and everything, I don't think there's anybody right now that has that sort of style that he has.
He has.
You know.
It's going to be hard. I mean, just remember the goal against Cameroon in New Year and all that. That's, you know, keep, you know, the execution, the movement, the pace and everything, what he did to be able to get that. That's the kind of player you look at, you're wondering, 27. I think it's going to be an advantage to Chelsea anyway. I mean, knowing that he wouldn't have to do all the traveling to Africa. 2019 AFCON is around the corner, you know, next year, Cameroon and all that. 24 countries and all, 24 countries competing. Just imagine the grueling qualifiers. I mean, having to travel, you know, coming down and having to go back and everything and all that. So Chelsea will be very, very happy right now. Aiden has missed on his face.
And you know, the thought of him coming down here and picking up an injury, then not being able to have him, I'm very sure they'll be glad that that's not going to happen. Well, I hope he's not. I hope we're not saying bye-bye to Victor Moses. I just hope. I hope that we're not saying. But let's talk about let's talk about a Victor Moses moment that. Let's just say the best Victor Moses moment that you could remember or that you like. I have mine, a couple, but the best of those moments that Victor Moses has given to the Super Eagles, that will be top on your list.
Oh, wow. Just think of one in particular. I mean, just generally watching him is just a pleasure with his pace, you know, particularly when he goes on the wing and cuts, you know, so I just generally just love just watching him play, you know. I like pacey players. So,
yeah, the pace.
Players good with both feet.
And all that.
I have many Victor Moses moments. I can't begin to.
Okay, how many? Tell me two. After the one, but the one against Cameroon, the pace.
2013 Nations Cup.
Yes.
It was a cutting edge, particularly the game against the Ivorians. That was the toughest game. At that point, the Super Eagles were even yet to convince us fans that they were going anywhere. Even the federation had already started packing their bags. They told the coach, we're going to get someone else. I mean, that was the kind of disarray the team was. And this guy stepped up. Against an Ivorian team that had Didier Drogba, Yaya Toure, we were watching that game, we were shivering. And all of a sudden, Victor Moses turned it to a game Nigeria could win. And eventually we did. That moment still, anytime I remember Victor Moses, that comes to mind. That guy that gives you, apart from class, the cutting edge.
Yeah.
With him on the field, you know, bring on any team. On his good day, we have a chance.
Yes, he's a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, I hope it's not.
It's a temporary thing.
I just hope.
Keeping faith in that.
I just hope.
Let him secure his place in
Yeah,
Chelsea. And
rest.
then, you know, every year or two, you know,
Yeah,
he could be back
come
there.
back.
Yeah,
you know.
2022 World Cup. I mean, Victor Moses can
Still
be back.
young.
We'll
and
see you
better.
again, Victor.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
see
see you again. We hope so. I mean, we're praying and hoping that we see you again because it's just too sudden and too soon. Those moments are just not enough. We want more of it. I mean, when you give people that kind of moment, you just want more. Ahmed Musa is one of those players I've actually, you know, go on Twitter to really say that, look, he's a guy that we're definitely going to miss. Immediately he released that Ahmed Musa had to. Remember where Ahmed Musa is right now? Yeah, he's in Saudi Arabia playing his football. So he hasn't tweeted yet, I mean, concerning his retirement, but then, I mean, he's already anyway. But he had this tweet, you know, on his Twitter handle where he said we're definitely going to miss Victor Moses, playing with him and just ensuring that he is, well, he gave his best, and because that's a pass you talked about, he was able to give to Ahmed Musa. I mean, it was a solo effort for him. I mean, he just had to work it out, just ensure that he gave him the pass, and Ahmed Musa had to, you know, celebrate. That's the game against Iceland in Russia. That alone would just be one of those memorable moments for Ahmed Musa. If we're going to ask him, you know, his memorable moments for Victor Moses.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, when you talk about that sort of a pass, I think Nigeria as a nation, in terms of footballing, we've always worked well when we've had such players like that can just inject that pace out of nowhere on the wing and put it back in, you know, into a centre forward or somebody that can score. So yes, definitely, we need that kind of style.
Yeah, we needed it, and that's why he said it was a pleasure to play alongside such a great player. You've served your nation well and will always be remembered. Good luck in all you do. That's coming from Ahmed Musa. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt you serve your nation well. We want some more. Give us some more. Give us some more. All right. Let's. It's a period where players are, you know, announcing their retirement. A lot doing it on social media. I mean, you can't count. But let's talk about Croatia. Just when we were talking about Mario Mandzukic, two other players have joined in. So let's talk about retirement now. Croatian team, Mario Mandzukic says, "Look, guys, I've got to my to the point where." I need to say it's all over. The goalkeeper, Subasic, as well, also saying. But Mario Mandzukic is the one everybody is talking about. But did it come to you as a surprise?
Not at all. I mean, he's what, 33 or something like that. Yeah. So, okay, well, he's early 30s. Yes.
Yeah, early 30s.
Yeah. You had a crop of those Croatian players, you know, that are in there around 30, 31, 33. You know, so in footballing age, I mean, the guys, they nearly won the World Cup. You know, so I mean, they've done all they can do, and particularly when you have the French team was so young, you know, I don't think that they're going to be looking forward to, you know, in their old age in 4 years playing them again, you know, trying to get to a World Cup final or being in the final. So I think, yeah, he's done his part. You know, so it's time to rest and focus on the club career.
But with Croatia, if all of those guys, you have a lot of guys in that age bracket.
Yes.
And if all of them start retiring, you think there's going to be a problem? If Luka Modric takes that decision late, Dejan Lovren, all of those guys, because I don't see the young guys. I mean, I'm following up with what you said. I don't see the young guys. If all of these guys, there's going to be a huge hole in that Croatian team, and I don't think they're going to be as dominant as we know them to be.
No, they won't. But well, I mean, the last time a Croatian team was like that was 20 years ago. So well,
maybe it might take them that long.
It may do. Maybe it's just onto the next generation, really. You know, because you know those guys. They're an old team, you know, they're essential key players, you know, the Modrics of the world, as you said, they're old, you know, that's just the fact, you know. Maybe, you know, they could do it for another European Cup, you know, but that's 2 years away. But another World Cup 4 years away, particularly with young teams like France, they've done their time, you know.
So they've done their time. It's a good one for him. 89 appearances, 33 goals. That's huge. And those are the kind of players, when they retire, you say, okay, fine, you've served the country so well, you've given all. At the World Cup, he had 3 goals and all of that. But when you hear a 27-year-old saying he wants to call it quit, then you'll be wondering what he's thinking.
You have to bring it to the front.
Now. When we return, we'll be looking at the Falconets.